Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for watching this video. We are now on day 18 of the 75 hard program, and one of the things that I was reflecting on is just how powerful this program is, especially when you do it alongside almost like a focused goal achievement program. And when I think of something that gives me a framework for focused achievement, I tend to think of the 12-week year. Now, I'm not sure whether you've heard of the 12-week year. This is the book. It's a New York Times bestseller. It's a 12-week year. And it talks about, it's authored by Brian Moran and Michael Lennington, not Michelle, Michael Lennington. And on the front page it says, get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months. The idea is, what the authors came up with is that when you start creating goals for, let's say, the next year, so for us it's going to be 2025, people will create goals, people create incredible, audacious, brilliant goals, and they'll say, right, I want to achieve this and I want to achieve this, etc. And there's nothing wrong with thinking big and wanting to achieve those goals. I think it's fantastic. I always say to my clients that dream big, allow yourself to visualize, first of all, dream it and then visualize the big things that you want to achieve. However, a lot of people also get really put off by, they've created these big goals, they try to, stuff what really could be done, what really needs to be done in over a year. They try to stuff it in 3 months, and then they get overwhelmed because it's just not achieved. So one of the things that Brian and Michelle Michael created. Forgive me, Michael, if you ever watch this video. I meant Michael, not Michelle. But one of the things they created was, instead of planning for 12 months, what they've created is that plan for 12 weeks. So essentially, you've almost got like 4 years in 1 year, because you've got 4 cycles of 12 weeks instead of looking at the full year. Does that make sense? I know what I mean, but did I explain it to you? Okay, let me try again. So basically, you're breaking down the number of weeks that you've got in a year, and you're breaking it down into 12 weeks. So it's 12 weeks, and then you've got the 13th week, which is a break, gives you an opportunity to evaluate everything that you've done for 12 weeks. And then you start the next cycle of 12 weeks, and then you have the 13th week, which is where, again, you're evaluating what you've done in your second cycle of 12 weeks, and so on. So right now, I came across this concept last year. Sorry, it wasn't last year, it was this year. Yeah, 2024. Why am I trying to get into 2025 when I've still got 13 days left? Anyway, so I came across this concept, and I'd actually come across the book a few years ago, but I didn't actually apply the knowledge, which is something that the 75 hard program is teaching, that don't go from one book, one chapter to another book to another book. Finish the damn book first. Finish the book and then go on to the second book. So it's that. So you're actually taking in the knowledge of that book. You're respecting that book. You're respecting the words, the ideas of that book before you go on to another book. So I came across this book, and I decided to complete the actual training. And here's my certificate. Beautiful looking certificate. This certificate is proudly presented to Hafiza Ismail, that's me, for successfully completing the 12-week year accelerated training, awarded by Brian and Michael. You see, I didn't say Michelle this time. But yeah, I completed the training. It was brilliant because hundreds of people took this particular training, and we were put in small groups where every single week we'd come together and we would be taught an aspect of it, of the 12-week year program, and then we would share our particular wins each week as well. But the idea is that the 12-week year is a how-to book for both individuals and organizations that would like to accomplish more in the next 12 weeks than others do in 12 months, because you're breaking it down into, like as I said, the 12-week year. It's exactly what we do for our home education. We plan for 12 weeks and then we have the 13th week off, and the kids can do whatever they want in that 13th week, right? I mean, faith studies are faith studies because all of my children, praise be to God, are all memorizing the Quran, so that doesn't stop. But everything else, you do what you want. You wanna sit in bed and read books. That's entirely up to you. You wanna knit or crochet, or we wanna just arrange activity after activity in that week. We can do that, but we've got to get that work done in that 12 weeks. Okay. So what I wanted to share with you is that when you have big audacious goals, a lesson that I'm learning from the 75 hard is that it's totally possible for you to achieve. But you've got to break it down. You've got to break it down that in this round, for example, for me of 75 hard, I want to lose X number of kilos or X number of pounds with my weight. And then the next time I do 75 hard, I want to lose this much. I want to get fitter. I want to get leaner. I want to increase my muscle mass. I want to reduce my fat percentage, etc. So it almost gives you hope in the way that you're working, as opposed to, right, in this 75 hard, I want to get from 170 lb to 120 lb. It's like, okay, good luck with that, because you're having to sacrifice everything else to try to achieve something like that, right? Well, certainly I think I would be. So the reflection I'm having on day 18 is the power of just breaking down monumental goals into smaller actionable parts, because how you can achieve like a big goal is absolutely through disciplined, consistent action. If I had chosen that, okay, one day I'll do the outdoor workout, one day I'll do the indoor workout for 75 hard, number one, it's not fulfilling the criteria of 75. Okay, I'm just cheating myself and there's no integrity there. But now the fact that it's really, really cold in Manchester, like even in my house, even with the heating on, it's actually cold, right? And I hadn't slept much last night because my child was unwell. So therefore I was downstairs at 2 a.m. in the morning, measuring temperatures and paracetamol and everything else. And as a good mom, I just wanted to make sure my child knew that she was loved and cared for, and therefore I stayed up, and then I didn't get a chance to sleep during the day. So even during that, I still went out and did my outdoor workout. I still went, and because it's consistent every single day, it was almost like a no-brainer. Like, it doesn't matter, Fiza, how you feel. I know you want to get to bed because you haven't slept much, but you're going to go outside and do that outdoor workout. And once you've done that, you're building on that consistent action. So whether it's your weight, whether it's reducing the body fat percentage, whether it's becoming leaner, whether it's you figuring out and tightening that mental toughness muscle inside of there, so that it all connects well, and whenever you've got a challenge, you can go for it. It's like you have to get on with it. You have to get on with the outdoor workout. And so what I want you to think about is that what are the big goals that you really want to achieve, and what are you struggling with, and can you break them down? So instead of trying to plan for the whole of 2025, right, because there's comfort in that as well. Because if you think about it, and I've done this, where you set your goals for a whole year, right? It's like, yeah, these are my goals from January all the way to December. Everybody gets really, really excited in January, woohoo, new year, etc. And then give it a month, give it 21 days for some people, give it a month, give it 2 months, right? You're not actually working on those goals that you set out for yourself. And instead what you're doing is you're almost conning yourself. Now, some people say, no, I'm just being an optimist, or I'm living in hope. But come on, let's say it as it is. You're conning yourself by saying that, okay, fine, I didn't get what I needed to get done in those 2 months, but I've still got 10 months left. And then before you know it, it's like the end of June, right? And then you're still saying to yourself, oh, it's okay, I didn't get it done. I didn't have a good first part of the year, but I've still got 6 months left of this year, right? Whereas instead, if you worked in smaller intervals, right? And that's exactly what the 75 hard program is about. It's 75 days. It's 2.5 months where you're doing something every single day. But if you worked in a 12-week interval and you created 3 goals and you got very specific about those 3 goals, these are the goals that I want to achieve. And then after you have decided on those 3 goals and you've figured out like why is it important for you to achieve these 3 goals here, then you break it down into tactics. And tactic means this is the stuff that I'm going to get done every single week. And then you've got daily tactics. This is the stuff that I'm going to get done every single day. And then you don't just leave it at that, like a fancy document or a fancy spreadsheet, or you've laid it all out and it looks really nice because, you know, you've used all your fancy coloured pens, etc. These pens are really good, by the way. But you've used all your fancy pens. No. Then you hold yourself to account. And you hold yourself to account with others as well. So every Monday, myself and my 2 partners, we have what's called a WAM meeting. And WAM meeting stands for a weekly accountability meeting, where the 3 of us get together and we will share exactly what we have achieved that week in terms of percentages per goal. And we talk about the obstacles or some of the challenges that we had to navigate through. And then we get some feedback, some helpful suggestions from the other 2 people. And then the next person does exactly the same thing. So on a spreadsheet then, you have percentages of the tactics that you have that set forth right at the beginning of the 12-week year, of what the percentage of the tactics you are achieving every single week. And if it's going down, you're not achieving as much as you could be doing, then you ask yourself the question, what's going on here? Is there a distraction, right? What's going on here? And when I was reading, I thought this was very powerful, just related to the accountability. Accountability is not consequences, it's ownership. This is one of the reasons why so many people sign up for coaching. Certainly when people come in their strategy session or sometimes I call it a chemistry session to figure out whether we're going to be right for one another. One of the things they say is that I need accountability. But very quickly, when they're being coached by myself, it's actually not somebody that just says, right, did you do this? That's not the kind of accountability that I have with my clients. It's about them taking ownership. It's about them wanting to do the task and then coming and sharing challenges and figuring that out by the coach asking the right questions, appropriate questions to them, right? So, I wanted to share that with you because I think that the 75 Hard program has 5 almost tactics, daily tactics that have to happen every single day. But on top of that, I also have my work tactics as well, related to the 3 goals that I have set myself during the 12-week year. So this is my second round of the 12-week year. And I would strongly suggest to you that try to figure out that instead of trying to, create goals for the whole of 2025 and, just do it in chunks, right? Just do it in chunks, small chunks. When you've got a delicious loaf, I love making bread at home. I mean, I do cheat, I use my bread maker, but it's still homemade bread. It's better than outside bread. But I love it. And especially when there's the most delicious bread that's come out. I love the dried fruit bread that we make. I love the Italian herb bread that we make. But it's just like, you just want to eat it. But when you break it into small pieces and then you just take small chunks, that's what I say to my kids, eat small bites because you'll appreciate it. You'll feel the texture. You'll feel the flavors of the basil and the oregano and all the other beautiful herbs that we put in. But when you have small bites of it, it's just so much more satisfying. So as you're planning your 2025, goals, try to break it down, 2025, into almost 4 years or 4 lots of 12 weeks, knowing that 13th week is going to give you an opportunity to evaluate yourself and what you've achieved, and then you get to set another 12 weeks. Any questions about the 12-week year, happy to answer them. I'm still learning about it. I think it's a great way of working. 12 weeks is what most of my coaching sessions are. As a certified high performance coach, I coach my clients in the core high performance coaching, which is really talking about clarity, energy, productivity, influence, really figuring out what that means in your life, and then going on to the mastery of psychology, mastering productivity, mastering persuasion, mastering purpose, right? And that's all in 12 weeks. This is what we cover. And then many of my clients decide to have another set of 12 sessions, and then we talk about the 10 human drives, and that's like 12 sessions. And then my clients want to have another set of 12 sessions, and then we go into what is called declaration coaching, which is absolutely phenomenal. It really talks about like your inner drive and what it is that, what in terms of motivation, it really talks about what motivation means for you, and how is that working, how's that playing out in all the different areas of your life. And then when my clients sign up for another 12 sessions, so there's 12 sessions for the core, 12 sessions for the charge, 12 sessions for declaration, and then 12 sessions for leadership coaching. And that is like 48 weeks of coaching. What I always say to my clients, if they're wanting to work with me for a full year, is that in that 13th week, have a break. Review what you've worked on for those 12 weeks, and then we come back and we start another 12 sessions of coaching. So I guess with a 12-week year, when I work with my clients, that's nothing new for me. I've been doing that for years. But now I'm actually setting goals for every 12 weeks as well, right? So I wanted to share that with you. I hope that's helpful. The 75 Hard program is definitely creating a more disciplined version of Hafiza, a more decisive version of Hafiza, a more bold version of Hafiza, and definitely one that is actually wants to do the work. I was really tired today, really tired today. When you're not slept, it kind of takes it out of you, because the day-to-day affairs I've still got to get on with, the cooking and the feeding 3 kids, and home educating them, and prayers, and clients, and if I've been booked in for speaking to a parent for the charity that I'm part of, Children of Jannah, all of that stuff kind of still has to happen, right? As well as a 75 Hard. So it's like it's definitely, the mental toughness is definitely improving, and the resilience is kicking in. Like, no, I know you're tired, Hafiza. It's a lot of self-talk. I know you're tired, but you know what? We've got to get this done. Come on, we can do this. Before you know it, that 45 minutes will be 25 minutes. Before you know it, that 25 minutes will be like 10 minutes. And then you'll be counting down from 5 minutes. You can do this, Hafiza, right? So I'm trying to be my biggest cheerleader. Anyway, I want to go to bed now. So I'm going to cut this video. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube videos, yeah, please do so. And if you feel that anybody else would benefit by watching these videos and just these little ideas that I'm sharing on these videos, please do share the link with them. All right, until tomorrow, day 19. Looking forward to it. Take care. Bye-bye.